Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting a lot. If you notice that I'm playing around with my mic, it's because of the fact that my mic is attached to my computer, and it's like my desk is right now very cut it like if you hear any noises, that is my kids coming home from it took me a while to get this all set up and everything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make this like an hour one until the kids get home. I don't think my son's gonna be home anytime soon because he has school. He's in college now. So yeah. So everybody, welcome back to my podcast. I'm sorry that I haven't been on it all this month. I've had my niece staying with me, and there's been so much stuff going on with her and trying to get things done and just been really busy. I did start my Walk of Wellness foundation company. I did buy some resisting bands. I got it in. If you want to go check out that video, that is on my other fitness. That's on my fitness channel. Walks of Wellness. I will link it down below too at the same time, so you could check it out. And then I'll give you the Poshmark account, and I have it on Facebook. So yeah, like there's been so many things that have been going on in the last this whole month. There's been so much going on. A lot of things have been going on because there's so much going on in the world. There's so much going on with my mental health. So yeah, I'm even shocked that I am sitting here talking to you guys, because I wasn't even going to do this. I've been doing a lot of diamond art lately. Doing diamond art is one of the things that keep me calm and things like that. And yeah, I'm in therapy. I talk to a therapist, but the last time I got a really not a nice comment on one of my shorts that I did about surviving or anything like that. The guy told me to get a grip. The person told me to get a grip. They told me that I needed to get help, that I shouldn't be talking about my mental health, and that nobody wants to hear about it, that nobody wants to listen. Comments like that really affects me in the long run, because I have had mental health issues my whole life. I have ADHD, and even though ADHD is a learning disorder that you have, you know what I mean? You don't be making comments like that towards people, because it is wrong and it's disgusting. And if you're gonna say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. I wanted to make a statement about that. I put shorts up. I've been putting a lot of shorts up lately of sayings, quotes that I like, from CapCut, and I have been putting pictures of me and my kid, my daughter and I behind it, some footage of me walking down by the beach. And I just don't get it. I don't get it is why people need to make nasty comments on people's posts and tell them to shut up and not talk about their problems. And when you say that to somebody, it kind of gets them not to talk. It gets them to be discouraged. It gets them to be depressed, and it gets them to be the type of person where they just can't, they just can't concentrate and everything like that. So yeah, I didn't do a lot of videos. The last time I did a podcast was when I did the first episode for 2026. This episode's going up on Friday. If you didn't, so I'm doing it here on Wednesday, but I'm going to be doing it I'm going to be, so much on Friday. But yeah, when you get a comment like that, sometimes I just want to take people and I just want to shake them and I just want to scream at them, but it's not worth it in the long run, because of the fact that, what's worth getting mad at somebody because they say something mean? And I even made a comment going, why are you saying this? Well, blah, 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 and this and that. And I'm like, the person told me to get help. And I'm like going, I am in therapy. I do talk to a therapist. I'm going through Alley Therapy. It's a cheap place here because I'm from Canada, and it's easy to get. And so yeah, there's so much. You don't make that statement on one of my shorts. I did delete the comment because of the fact that he wasn't being nice. There's a lot of people out there that are very much they gotta put their opinion out. That's fine. But if you have nothing nice to say, to somebody, don't say it at all, because words hurt, feelings hurt, and when you say something to somebody, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you tell somebody that, you know, you're not doing a good enough job at your job, or you're not doing a good enough job in your life, or you're not being a good parent and everything. You get them into a slump where they just don't want to do anything, and they're like, okay, I'm getting all this negative attitude towards it. I don't want to do anything. But the thing is what they need to do is they need to work through it. They need to get through it, and they need to somehow overcome it. And that is what I'm trying to do with my life, is I'm trying to overcome it. The other thing that I started this month, and I'm hoping to do it after my podcast because it is 12 o'clock, is I started doing Pilates. My first time doing Pilates, and it was fun. It was energetic. It was like, oh my goodness, I got this. You know, you can do this, girl. You know, you don't need a gym membership. You don't need any of that. I have the stuff at home, and I have all that stuff. So when it comes down to facts, when it comes down to trying to do something at home and get encouragement, I did it for 4 days and then I stopped. But I felt sick the week that I was supposed to do it again, because I take the weekend off. I felt sick and I felt very dizzy that Monday that I was supposed to go back into doing my routine. And I felt very dizzy and very nauseous, and I couldn't get up out of bed. My head would be going into circles, and it was like I couldn't even keep my posture because of it. So I didn't do Pilates that whole week last week because of it, and I just wanted to get better, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And so yeah, like that's the other reason why I didn't do any Pilates. I am going to start it back up. I do post on my fitness channel. I do post it on my fitness Instagram. And yeah, so what was it like starting Pilates? It was like something I've been trying, something I wanted to start, something that I wanted to do for the longest time. And I finally did it. And I felt good about it. I'm like going, this is nice. I just sat them out in my living room, recorded myself on my phone, just did shorts. I would, if I could find the footage, I actually do have footage, I will put it right here so you can see it. But yeah, like doing Pilates really helped me with stretching, with doing workouts, felt comfortable. There's some workouts that I couldn't do, like getting on my knees or things like that, but I still did it, and I was so proud of myself at the end of it. I called my mom up and I was like, Mom, I did some Pilates, and I called her up for 4 days nonstop saying, Mom, I did some Pilates, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so proud of myself. And it was like, and she's like, that's good to hear, Joanna. That's really good. So yeah, like, Pilates really helped me that whole 4 days of just relaxing, coping, and everything like that. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I got these cue cards from Temu. Sorry, I'm gonna yawn. Somebody just walked by my window. I might have to close my curtain. You know what? Who gives a crap? They want to look at me while I'm doing my podcast, then go right ahead. I don't care. But, like, Pilates is something that a lot of people are doing. Pilates is out there. I have a reform board. You know what I mean? I have one of those. I have a reform board that has to do with doing workouts on it. I have another one that I got a yoga mat for a sample. I got a reform board for a sample, and I got another reform board. So I'm hoping to get into those workouts soon with the Pilates. I don't know when yet, but I am doing the weights. I'm doing like the dumbbells and things like that workout. But as for the cue cards that I got, I would show you, but I'm not going to, is some of them are for chair workouts, bench workouts. I brought my bench up so I can use it. Some of them are for, certain things, and I want to try that stuff. So I'm going to try it. I am not back in the gym yet because I got to get the gym membership all caught up. It's going to take me a while. I have been applying for jobs. That hasn't been going really good for me because I've gotten a lot of no's, like no from this, no from that. And it feels like because I'm getting a no from everyone, it just feels like I don't want to look for a job. I just want to concentrate on my small business. I want to concentrate on this. I want to concentrate on that. And I can't. I got to get a job because money's tight and bills are tight and, cell phones are tight. I know how everyone feels. I think everyone can relate to that, is that everyone feels the same way. Money is just so tight these days that you can't do anything. I want to start Christmas shopping at the end of February, at the end of this month, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy my daughter her Christmas gift, and then my son wants money and some books, but I'm going to buy him some other things too, but that I think would be good, like little trinkets that he can use. He's going to be a police officer, which I'm very proud of, and he's been through a lot, but he's overcome it all. The other thing is that I have been just like, I got kicked from the program that I started last year to do my English upgrading. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be applying for, because of the college that I go through, it doesn't, what I want to go through, it does not offer legal assistant or legal clerk or law clerk or whatever it's called anymore. So I will be applying for the police foundation, and I'll be applying for that hopefully next on the 20th of February or the end of the February. I got to figure out what days I can apply for it, because like it's $170. That's a lot of money. But let me get my coffee. But I think that, the one thing that I have to say is just do it. Go back to school. It's never too late. I'm 42 years old. I'm going back to school. I've already gone back to school once. I'm going to go back to school again. And I'm going to get a degree. I'm going to get a diploma. Like, I already have a diploma in legal. I just have to pay off the book fees, which I'm going to. But I have my grade 12 diploma, which is right here. The transcript's right there, but my diploma is right there. And I'm going to put it up on the wall. And every time I do my podcast, it's going to be actually right here, more likely. But yeah, like, the reason I haven't been doing podcasts too is because my niece has been here. My niece has been here a lot. But like I said, when you make nasty comments on people's posts and you say you don't like them, you have no use for them, you don't want to hear it, that means there's something seriously going on with your life, and you need to deal with it, and you need to get through it, and you don't need to go after other people because they're talking about their mental health. I talk about my mental health because I want people to be aware they're not alone on what they're going through. I don't want people to know. I don't want people to feel alone. I don't want people to feel like they can't confide in somebody because they don't trust that person. Like, I have major trust issues, and I can't trust anybody with certain things. But when I talk on my mic like this, or I do my podcast, I can let everything out. And then I can, I can talk about what's going on with me, my feelings on how I'm doing and how I'm going and doing things. But it depends on how I'm feeling that day. I am supposed to be doing a podcast every Friday, so I'm going to try to do it every Friday or every other Friday. I'm going to try. Don't quote me on it. But I think that the one thing is that I look back on that comment as an education, as something to learn from, and I will learn from it. It's just going to take time. What not to do and what to do. I have 12,000 subscribers on my main channel, and then on my fitness channel I have 3,000 subscribers, and I'm not bragging about it. Thank you so much for subscribing, all of you. Thank you so much. Nobody's here. If you hear cricket, it's just a house. But I think that maybe I might do a podcast next Friday. I might do my podcasts on Wednesday because my son being gone to school every day. Gone to school. I think he's in 2 classes or 1 class. I'm not too sure. But I know he's in class right now because he has gym. But I just feel like if I do it on Wednesdays and post it on Thursday to go up on Friday, then it'll get more traction. Because I'm supposed to put a podcast up on Friday. Wednesdays I'm supposed to put up a vlog. And Mondays, it's a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for this channel. And then it's a Tuesday, Thursday, I think a Saturday for my fitness channel. And then Sundays is for my book channel. But I know that's like a lot of channels. Joanna, why do you have a lot of channels? I really don't understand why. It's my ADHD. It gets out of hand where it's like, okay, I want to separate all this stuff. I know people are not going to be interested in this or interested in that. So why not I just separate it? And that's what I get. Like, so that's why I have like 4 different YouTube channels. But now I'm like going, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run my business on my fitness channel. I have a business. I couldn't get a business channel because they kept deleting it on me because I was doing a budget business and they thought it was a fraud, and it wasn't. YouTube, but it's fine. I just put it on no more channel, and then I made a channel. Then I made a new channel for it. I don't know if it's still up. I gotta check. But yeah, like, I think it is. It's for my budget business that I want to do. But yeah, like, talking about my problems, talking about what's going on, talking about how I feel about myself, it's okay for me to do that. But when someone makes a comment like that, I don't do it after a while. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I really don't. I'm just going to leave it alone. But when I edit my sister's videos or I do diamond art, it relaxes me. And I'm hoping that, when, like, if I can ever monetize my channel or I monetize anything, I'm hoping to start making money off it. But I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this to have fun, to show people that you can have fun by doing the podcast, even though I'm hoping to, get a job. I want to get a part-time job or I want to get a full-time job. You really don't after this story I was yawning. I just feel like, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to keep going, if I'm going to keep, trying my best and everything. The other thing is that I've had job interviews. I had a job interview yesterday, and because I don't have a vehicle, I can't get the job. It's the other thing with the temp agency. If I don't have a vehicle and I can only transport through buses, I can't get the job. And it's like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on here. I shouldn't have to have a job to be able to get a job. I shouldn't have to have a car to be able to get a job. I should be able to take the bus and go to work every single day. But no, some employers want you to have your own commute ways to get to work. So yeah, that's one of the things I got to work on this year is getting a vehicle. And I was supposed to go for a hockey game this past weekend, but I didn't go. I did not have the money to. In July and August, I'll be going to 2 baseball games, Toronto Maple Leafs games. Not Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry, guys. Toronto Blue Jay games. And that. And yeah, like, pretty much like everything that's been going on. And plus, my ex is still trying to get back together with me, which I wish it would just stop. And that. And I'm going to probably do some yoga before the kids get home or some Pilates before the kids get home because, like, I'm tired. But yeah, like the other thing is I want to talk to you guys is I'm very self-confident about my body. I'm very self-confident about the way I look. So when I wear a blouse and I'm just wearing a pair of jogging pants underneath, it's because you never see my jogging pants when I'm sitting here on the couch talking. And so I just, do this. I just sit here with this nice blouse on. But what I want to start doing is I want to start changing the way I look. I want to start, getting things done. I want to start making, going to these appointments that I make and things like that. So when I made an appointment on the 20th to get my hair cut because I'm going to cut it. It's past my shoulders. There's a lot of gray coming in. I don't know if I'm going to let my gray come in. I keep saying that, but I don't know. But once I know, I will tell you. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. But I think that the one thing is that I got to look back on is that when I start making changes to myself, I got to make the changes because I want to, not because I'm doing it for somebody else. And that is the problem we have with society today. I follow somebody on Instagram. She's a nice woman. I tried her workouts and it's like, yeah, her workouts, Turbo Gym is awesome. But, she was talking about a crisis that we're having right now. And I know this video will probably be age restrictions and things like that on Ozempic. If I said that right, it's called Ozempic. I don't take Ozempic. I take medication, my ADHD meds, my anxiety pills, and my thing. And my thyroid pill. I cannot tell people on what they can and cannot do with their bodies, and I cannot tell people on what they can and cannot put in their bodies. But there's something going on right now in LA. Because of the fact of the way the stars are looking, and this is not me criticizing them, and this is not me telling them, oh, well, you need to gain weight. I am so concerned about certain stars that I have seen on TV. I can see their rib cages. I can see their bones. I can pretty much see it all. I am concerned about them as a human being, but as one of their admirers, of one of their people who goes and sees their movies, I am concerned. I'm concerned on how LA, California, Hollywood have a pandemic with people wanting to be thin, wanting to be unhealthy. And the thing is that when you are on a movie and you are doing a box office movie like Wicked or like Avatar and things like that, you don't have to lose the weight for it. You look beautiful no matter what. Even if you have meat on your bones, let people tell you that you got to go down 60 pounds for this part or 70 pounds down for that part. That is wrong. I have seen a lot of things going on and it's scaring me because of my daughter. My daughter is very self-confident about her body and that. And she doesn't like the way she looks sometimes. You know, she comes to me and she goes, Mom, I don't like the way I look. And I look at these women that are in LA. There's some confrontation going on with Kelly. I don't know her name. I didn't listen to her dad's music. I've heard he passed away. I'm so sorry for your loss. But she and her mother look very sick. And I'm very concerned about it because we are so used to this stigma coming out of Hollywood where you have to be this certain way. You have to look this certain way. And, you know, there was a time when you couldn't be overweight and be a movie star. You couldn't be overweight and be on a show or any of that stuff. You had to be a certain size, even for modeling. And now you can be my size. You could be anybody's size. And now we got a problem where people are doing Ozempic as a way to lose weight. My dad is a diabetic. He uses Ozempic. He was using Ozempic to level out his sugar levels. He was not using it to lose the weight. He was using it to level out his sugar levels because he's a diabetic. Ozempic is now being used as a diet situation. It is being used as something that is an easygoing type of thing. And I can go on and on and on about this, but I'm not going to. I have my opinions about it, and I am going to base my opinions, but I'm going to base them in such a way that it doesn't cause me any trouble on the internet. I am losing my weight naturally. I am working out. I am changing the way I eat. I'm changing my habits. I am changing all that stuff. I will never take Ozempic. I'm 42 years old. I have been overweight my whole adulthood. If I am going to be overweight my whole adulthood till the day I pass away, then that is fine. But at least I know I was comfortable in my own skin, even though I'm not. And I think that's the problem we have with society today. People have a habit of showing these kids that it's okay. You can nitpick at your body. You can nitpick at this. You can nitpick at that. No, it's not okay. You have people who look up to you as role models. You got people, even influencers need to understand this. You got people who watch you that are thinking of you as a role model. And when you're a role model for somebody, you're representing yourself as somebody that's willing to do this stuff to yourself. And you're telling your role models that it's okay to do this. And it's not. So when they see you losing all this weight, and I can tell you right now, it's not losing weight is not an overnight process. It takes time. Even the heaviest people have issues trying to lose the weight. 600-pound sister or 1,000-pound sister. You know, look how far that came. Tammy lost her husband due to his weight, and she's lost all that weight, and that is good for her. And she did that naturally, but plus she had her stomach stapled. She had a gastric bypass, I think it was, and she's losing the weight. There is healthier ways to do it instead of taking Ozempic or Ojolbery, whatever else you guys are taking in that lace. Just stop. Stop. Because you're making people who are trying to work their asses off to lose the weight, trying to be an influencer to help people, to understand people on why they're having issues losing the weight, or they're slacking off. You're making them look bad. You're making people think, oh, if I take this needle, I'm going to lose all this weight. No. Look at the side effects. Look at all of that. My ex is about 300 pounds or something like that now. And he wants to lose the weight, and he's a truck driver. And I said to him, the only thing you need to do is you need to change the way you're eating. Even though you're a truck driver, go into a gym, work out, and everything. That is the way to do it. All truck drivers do it. But he says, no, I don't want to do it. So that's just somebody who just doesn't want to do something that somebody else, it's the truth. But you can't convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. So yeah, like, that's my rant on Ozempic. If this gets restricted because it's about weight loss, fine, that's fine. But I'm doing it naturally. I'm not going to be using any diet pills, and I'm not recommending it at all to you guys to do it because I don't think it's healthy at all. It is a very severe pandemic in California, in Hollywood right now, with the singers, the actresses, the models, all of it. And you see people who were idols because they were overweight, or they made something come real for people who were overweight, making them feel comfortable, and now they're losing the weight, and they have to lose the weight because of their health. I understand that, but when's enough going to be enough? You know what I mean? Like, when is it going to be enough for everybody to say, okay, we're not doing this anymore, we're not going to represent this anymore, we're not going to do this anymore? So that's up to them, what they do. But let me tell you something. We've lost a lot of legends this year, just by January. We lost Kathy O'Hara, who I grew up with watching. I was born in the 80s and I grew up with her in the 90s. Billy Jews, all of her shows. I forget all of her shows and I'm sorry. Like, I just watched Beetlejuice a couple months ago, back in Halloween time. I went to go see it, and it was a really good movie. I loved it. We've lost a lot of good actors, and we've lost a lot of good people, and they've died, and it's scary, because you see all these actors who are dying off, and they're the actors that you watched as a child and growing up, and you didn't even know they were sick, because they didn't let it be known, because when they go into the public, they put their heads up and they do their jobs. They do what they need to do. And she is going to be greatly missed. Kathy O'Hara is. It just doesn't make sense to me on why this is happening. The other thing I want to talk about is about my business, about the foundation. I was talking about it in my previous vlog. My previous podcast is about my foundation that I want to make, but plus a business. So I'm starting a business called Walks of Wellness. Walks of Wellness is based on wellness. It's based on fitness. It's based on being healthy. It's based on making changes in your life. It's based on all of that. So the business aspect of it's going to be selling accessories for yoga, Pilates, and fitness and things like that. And I'm hoping to be able to start that soon. I already have resisting bands. I've sold one already, which I'm really proud of myself. But yeah, like, when you think about it, starting a business is hard. It's not an overnight process. It takes time. And I knew that was going to be happening. So I bought new resisting bands coming in. They're the big one. They're the longer ones. I will do a video for it. And then there's the cards. I finally have cards coming in to give to my clients or my customers that's buy from me, so I can send that in the mail. So yeah, like, I have all that coming, and then I have what else is there? I have some things in the cart to help Dalby. I'm not putting my logo on anything. The only thing I would put my logo on is bags, because, like, it's a bag, but I'm gonna figure out how to do it myself. I just gotta learn how to do it, and that. But let's talk about the foundation part. The foundation that I want to make will be helping people. I am hoping that if I can start making money and everything, that I'll be able to put fundraisers on, like parties for rich developer for people to come to. Don't get your hopes up for this, because sometimes I say something and I don't do it. So the foundation that I want to make is called Walks of Wellness. And it's about the same thing about my business, but it's separate. It might not be called Walks of Wellness, by the way. I just want people to know that. It's based on what's going on here in Canada right now, with the homeless crisis that we're having, with people not able to afford groceries. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pinch, guys, because groceries, a cell phone bill, who can't pay their bills, who are having issues paying their rent. You know, I want my foundation based off of helping Canadians and helping people here in Ontario. I grew up in Ontario. And I was born and raised in Stratford, Ontario. And I never thought in a million worlds that our country would be in the dire need that it's in. Growing up, it was affordable. My mom never showed us the struggles that she was having with money. She never showed. Just hold a second, guys. I got to put a new SIM card in. Okay, so I'm back. Now let me just fix this. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix my camera because it's having a hard time focusing in. There we go. So like I was talking about the foundation, Walks of Wellness Foundation, it's going to be based on what's going on here in Canada, with the homeless crisis, the groceries prices, things like that. I'm hoping to, when I get my business up and running and it gets, selling, I will have to use some of the funding from my business to be able to start the foundation and start saving up for the first donation that I want to make. And I think the first donation I would want to make, it would be to the food bank. It would be to, talking, because where I'm from, they have this program where someone can pay for a meal for the homeless people. And what I want to do is I want to do the same thing. I want to pay for meals for so many homeless people. They can go in, they can sit in a restaurant, they can eat dinner when they're hungry, and they can use that money that's been given to them from, more likely from my foundation, to be able to use. But I have to see how things go, and I got to write everything up on what it's all about. I will be talking about more of this on my podcast when it comes to it. Even I want to be able to help people afford therapy. I want to be able to help people being able to afford so many things that they can come to the foundation and they can get the money to pay it all up, because I know what it feels like to be able to pay not a lot of things up. And I have a $5,000 cell phone bill that I gotta pay or I get disconnected. And I did a stupid before Christmas and I should not have done it, but I did it. So yeah. The other thing I want the foundation to be around is kids, like helping schools, bringing back in programs that the Board of Education took out, like so they can afford it, like after hour school programs, sports that the kids can do, school trips and things like that. So that's what I want to do too, because my kids are in school, but I know what it's like to have things ripped away from me, because as a child I had things ripped away from me from my education, and I don't want to see that happening for kids anymore. I can't take it. I just can't. My son was getting physio in school, and my daughter they both were getting speech therapy, and that stopped when they were smaller, and I wish that never stopped. So yeah, like so much things have stopped in our school boards, and so much things have been taken out of our school boards that it's time to fix it. It's time to do something about it. The other thing is the foundation will be run off of fundraising money. So when it does come up to it, I'm hoping to have parties, to do silent auctions, to do to raise enough money, enough funds to be able to give it to spread the money out to each of the cities that we have here in Ontario to help everybody. I'm hoping that I will be able to do that. I just don't know when yet, so don't quote me on it. And don't go gabbing your mouth about it, because I don't know. I'm just talking about it. It's something I'm talking about because it's something I'm interested in doing. I am not a businesswoman. I am starting off in the business industry, and I've been watching a lot of YouTubers who talk about small businesses. I watch this one girl who has a lot of good advice to talk about it. And, I have a tendency of asking people, hey, what kind of advice would you give somebody? But then they don't give you that advice, which is fine. But yeah, like so many things. Like my business will be based around fitness, yoga, Pilates. And if it does work out with my fitness business, I'm hoping, I'm starting to add things now to it. I only got one sale, but I'm going to start adding things. I already have things in the cart that I want to add slowly without my logo on it. And then once I start bringing the money in, I will be putting my logo on everything. So until then, I'm not. I do want to get some yoga mats in too. But back to the foundation, like I want to be able to help people afford things, like maybe bringing some therapists in on it, bringing some mental health advocates in and everything like that, and being able to do all those functions, having, wide end events that people can come to and talk to them. That would be a dream come true, just for that foundation to work out and being able to do it. But it takes time, and it takes time to build a business and a foundation. So it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight process, and I know that by a fact, guys. So yeah. The other thing I want to do is I want to do probably next year in 2027 is I want to probably do a race. I want to do a 5K, So I might start training for that in the summer. But if I don't sign up for college, I might sign up for the military. I've been thinking about that too, because like just money's tight and everything, and I need money coming in and everything. I'm not asking anybody for charity. I'm not asking anybody for help. So yeah, that's the other thing I want to do. The other thing is I want to see my family more. My family lives up in Stratford. My niece is down here with me, up here with me, but she's going back to Stratford next week. But I want to have something to do with my family more. So I want to save up for a vehicle to be able to go places. Like I said there for a bit. I can't get a job until I get a vehicle. It sounds like it to me, but we'll see what happens. Like I take the bus and everything like that. I don't know why that's such a problem with everybody. The other thing I want to do is I'm the type of person who says one thing and does another. I really want to start doing more podcasting. I want to start doing more of my fitness videos. I want to start doing more vlog, all of that. I want to start doing all that stuff. And if I start doing that stuff, I think that will help me cope, and that will help me with my mental health, because my mental health hasn't been the greatest. I have been depressed. I have been like sticking to my room, trying to sleep all day and everything like that. I think the one thing that's making me depressed is there's no money in the house. There's nothing extra to do anything with. And I want to do this. I want to do certain things, but it's like, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. And I know how everybody feels, because everybody's going through it, and I'm not complaining, because I know how you feel. If you're listening to this, I know how you feel. The world is changing, and we have to change with it. But I just feel like that if we keep going the way we're going, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So the other thing is that I really, like, when I get my bus pass up, I really want to get out of the house and go uptown, take pictures of this Parliament again, take pictures of the nice, beautiful sceneries that we have. We have the canal. My daughter went skating on the canal with my niece a couple times this past month, and she loved it. And I want to start doing that kind of stuff. I want to be able to start, going out, doing that stuff, and going uptown with my professional camera, the one I'm filming on right now, and taking pictures and things like that. So I'm going to start doing that soon. I really don't care who I walk into, or if I walk into a politician or any of that. I don't really care. I'll say hi, and that's it. I don't care what party you're in. I'm a nice person, and I'm going to say hi to you. But I think there's a lot of things that I need to work on as for myself. I'm in therapy. I'm getting the help I need, but I think I need to get myself up off my ass and start doing everything. Start actually doing stuff. Stop making excuses for myself, and stop making excuses for everybody around me, and just do it. Just get off your ass and do what you want. Don't stop doing it because somebody's telling you how you can't do it. Just do it. And that is the one thing I want to do, is I want to start doing it. So I'm going to. I'm at 38 minutes. So yeah, like I want to finish this one diamond art today. I'm gonna finish that, get that up on the wall, because I have a wall in my kitchen that I'm working on. And then I have some more pictures. I have the picture of two old people. That's gonna represent me and my sister Janine. And then there's some other pictures I have. I'm a Libra. I was born in October 14th. So yeah, so I'm doing that. And yeah, like, I hope that things start turning around for me and that. But I'm happy that let's get back on the topic about Pilates. Like I started doing Pilates, guys. Like I started doing. I can't believe I started doing that. I can't believe I started doing Pilates. I can't believe it. Can you guys just hold a second? Okay, it's at 38, 56. So I started doing Pilates this past week, the week before that, and I loved it. I just got up off my ass and I did it. I was like, I'm gonna stop talking about this. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. And I found some really good Pilates people that does the Pilates online. And it's a very hard, intense workout, but if you know what you're doing, you can do it. The only thing is if you have like bony knees like I have, you know what I mean? Like, just, get like one of those things. Like I have one of those things that I can use. I'm just gonna put my foot underneath here because my camera keeps moving. I have one of those things that what is it? I'm trying to think. Don't quote me on it. One of the foam things that are for the board. and I put it on the floor with my mat, because my mat's not really no mat's comfortable, right? But I put it on the floor and I put it out and I put it on and I did some workouts with my legs and some workouts with my arms. My balance is, like, I can tell you now, guys, my balance is off. My balance is completely off because of the fact that I really don't know why. It just is. It's like, whoa, like, So yeah, like, my balance is completely off and I have to work on my balance and things like that. I have these new socks that I got. They're like ballet socks. I have them on. They're very comfortable. They have grips underneath them because my floors are hardwood flooring. So I don't have to, I don't climb all over the place. I don't slip all over the place, because I remember when I was living in Stratford on St. Vincent Street, I slid upstairs by the stairs, and I think I was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and it was an accident, and I was trying to go get the door, and I got the door and everything, and it was my mom. I remember that. That was back in 2009, before I had my daughter. Actually, that was in 2010, before I had my daughter. So yeah, like, it was a lot taken. A lot. So, this podcast is like 41 minutes, and I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will talk to you guys later. I think the video, I don't know, like, what else should I talk about? Like if I had someone on my podcast with me, I'd be talking, but it costs money. So yeah, like, there's so much things I want to talk about, like mental health, things like that. I just didn't sleep right last night. That's the other thing. My sleeping schedule is, like, affected by everything that's been going on. It's been affected by a lot of stuff that's been going on in the world. Like, I can't sleep because I've been nonstop thinking about what's been going on. But like I said, please think about what you're doing. Try not to copy everybody, what they're doing in their lives. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. Try to, figure out another way of doing something, even though it's depressing. It's not an overnight process for a lot of things. And I think that's the one thing that people need to clarify. It's not an overnight process. It does take time to get to where you want to be. If I knew that back in the day, I would have been, more aware. Yeah. So anyhow, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification button. And I'm going to let you go on the podcast. If I can get my... Thank you for listening, and thank you for giving me the chance to talk.